Hi everyone, welcome to Adventures with Raven and Rowley. I'm Raven and this is Rowley. Sir Rowley the Brave, to be official. A few years ago I started this channel. During that time I was living in a fifth wheel RV. I've lived in an RV Class A and then a fifth wheel for a total of 5 years. The playlist is over here somewhere in the trees, if you'd like to see that information. There's a lot of videos there. Anyway, until a little over a month ago, I've lived almost a full year. Well, a little over 2 months ago, I lived almost a full year, full time, in a 6x12 converted cargo trailer, self-converted cargo trailer, in the Mojave Desert of Nevada. The playlist for that is also over here. Okay. Last week I talked about van and RV camping here in Switzerland. This week I'm going to talk about pet ownership, especially dogs, in Switzerland. If you're curious, please join us on this journey and continue to watch. I'm going to talk mainly about dog laws, adoptions, shelters, travel expenses, that kind of stuff. But this doesn't, negate cats or other animals. The law stipulates here in Switzerland that if you find an animal, a lost animal, and you turn it in, which you're required to do, for 2 months after you found it, if the animal's owner is located, then you have to give it back. Must be returned. You can't keep it. In America, we have the ASPCA, the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. In Switzerland, it's the SPCA, that's Society for Protection of Animals. SPAs are all volunteer organizations, are run completely by donations here. There are no state or city help for these organizations at all. This is a volunteer thingy. Most seem to have only about a half a dozen animals to take care of, as if you go by their website, it's posted on their website, some will have 2, 3, 4 animals, mostly dogs, but as usual. But every now and then you'll find a cat. There seems to be very few shelters too. Here in Geneva Canton, that's the state of Geneva, not the city of Geneva. There are only 4, the whole thing. There are 26 cantons, like 50 states, in the United States. And the population of this canton, this state, is 499,000 people. The dog population in Geneva is approximately 10,250 dogs. So out of 500,000 people, there's 10,000 dogs. I was unable to find out where the ASPC in America gets its money. I don't know if it's government funded or not. I don't know if it's donations only. I'm just not sure. Nothing is said on their website. I couldn't find anything on Google. Absolutely nothing. I don't know where. I don't know where they get their money or how they spend it. But you should know that the ASPCA is not the same thing as the SPCA in your local town. The ASPCA, the American Association, or whatever they are, Americans, what is it? American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals is not the same as your local SPCA. Your local SPCA is getting their funding and their volunteers the same way they do here in Switzerland. Local people volunteer to do it. Local people volunteer to walk and take care of the dogs. Local people help feed them. They don't get any funding at all from the ASPCA. Okay? So, if you want to support your local shelter, then support your local shelter. Don't necessarily send your money to the ASPCA because your local shelter isn't getting any help. But if you want to adopt a dog in Switzerland or a cat, the average adoption prices are high. If you want to give up your dog, the renunciation, give up your dog or your cat, you got to pay. To adopt a dog or to give it up is 650 Swiss francs. That's a little bit more than, and probably closer to $700 American, because the American dollar is not worth as much as the Swiss dollar. Cats are 350 Swiss dollars, which is closer to 400 American, okay? We used to be. Most dogs must be registered with AMICUS database here in Switzerland. That's AMICUS. They have to be, absolutely have to be. It's against the law not to be, okay? All dogs must be either microchipped or tattooed. And the tattoo has, if they have one, they come from a country that tattoos, they have to be unremovable, unalterable, period. You can't, you know what I mean. Dogs coming into the country must visit a veterinarian within 10 days of arrival. I mean must, okay. The law is very much followed here. The vet must register the dog with AMICUS within 10 days after seeing the dog. So within 20 days, your dog has to be registered, period, no questions asked, gotta be done, okay? Rowley has his own ID card. He carries his card, Anyway, also, if your dog is traveling internationally, they must have a passport. You must carry your AMICUS card on you at all times. So I have to carry his card at all times, plus I have to carry my own identification card at all times. Absolutely do not go without it. I've gotten to the point where I wear and carry everything in a fanny pack, so I could just pick it up and go, because you don't want to get caught without it, because you will get seriously fined, and they do not play with fines around here. They are serious money, okay? Anyway, there's such a thing as called dog treatment rights, or is it the dog's Bill of Rights? Dogs every day must have sufficient contact with human beings and as far as possible with other dogs. Gotta be. You can't leave them 24 hours alone. If they are kept in a closed premises, they must be able to, every single day, to take exercise according to their needs, and must, as far as possible, be able to romp in the open air. They have to get outside. Absolutely have to get outside. You have to. Otherwise, you don't get to keep your dog. Those kept tied up must be able to move around in an area of at least 20 square meters. That's 215 square feet. That's a big room. And must not be attached using a choke chain. Choke chains are illegal. Okay? Those kept in the open air must have a shelter and water available. You gotta have a doghouse. Gotta have one, okay? And you know, when you stop and think about it, these are things you would want to do anyway, right? Anyone looking after a dog must take the measures to prevent the dog endangering itself, another human, or another animal. You gotta be aware and alert, okay? Treating dogs with excessive harshness, like firing shots over their heads or using spike collars and things like that, are totally prohibited. Dogs have rights here, absolutely, which is cool that dogs have rights here, let me tell you. Not only that, but all dogs must be insured. The relevant insurance is known as civil liability insurance for dog owners, and they must be taken out with a private insurance company. So you have to have it, and you got to have proof that you've got it, because anybody could stop you and ask for it to see it, and you better show it up. And of course, dogs have got to be kept on a leash at all times in public spaces. But if a dog hurts somebody, in a kennel or chews on the vet's hand or anything like that, they absolutely have to notify the local authorities immediately. What happens after that, I guess, depends upon the severity of the injury. At any rate, the police department gets to know about it. And then, of course, there's large dogs. Rowley is a medium dog, but he kind of sort of fits in somewhere in there, because owners of large breeds dogs, anything over 22 inches tall, he's just about 20 inches tall, or 55 pounds, fortunately he only weighs 20 pounds, must obtain a license. I mean, they gotta have a dog license anyway. They gotta get their shots. They gotta carry their card. They gotta have their rabies tag and all of that kind of stuff. But you gotta get a special license because it's a big dog, And they gotta get that license within 18 months of their birth, or within 3 months of adopting it or transferring or changing owners. And in order to get that license, you have to pass a control and behavior and training test. You do, not the dog. Well, I guess the dog does too. You both do. Anyway, it's not all bad, because you can take your dog pretty much anywhere. A dog can travel freely with a dog day pass, which costs 25 Swiss francs. You have to have a ticket also. Now your personal ticket might be $2, but for the dog, it's got to be $25 for the day, period. But the dog can then travel on a bus, a train, a tram, a boat, and go into shops, can go into restaurants. Some restaurants even have menus for the dog so that they can have what they want, And you could take them into tourist attractions and all that kind of stuff. So if you don't want to leave your dog at home, you can take them with you. Now, somebody as small as Rowley, if I wanted to carry him in a dog sling or dog bag or something like that, he can ride on the trains, the boats, the buses, everything, free of charge, no $25, which is kind of cool, just as long as I can place him under the seat or on my lap or something like that. It's got to be a bag like that, So it's pretty cool for the end of the circumstances. And anyway, the Rowley report. He'll be seeing a dog whisperer tomorrow, a dog psychologist, because he's still barking at everybody. I mean, my daughter will leave the room and come back, and he'll bark at her like he's never seen her before. I'm beginning to wonder if maybe he has sight impairment. After all, he is an old dog. Maybe he can't really see her. I don't know. But anyway, the psychologist will be here tomorrow. I'll let you know next week how that goes. We're still trying to find a trainer. Hopefully we can find one by next week. And he's got to still get back to the vet for his heartworm because there are mosquitoes here. And mosquitoes carry heartworm. So we don't want him to get it halfway across the world and then die. You know, that would piss me off. You know, not that he know what I mean. I'd be upset, okay? Otherwise, his foot is healing. I touched it the other day. I can't say touched it. I kind of like almost stepped on him, and it opened up and it started bleeding again. And that was earlier this week. But he seems to be willing to walk on it. He's not limping. I don't know. There's no inflammation. There's no infection. And I gotta say, he's loving it here. You know, he's still loving it here. I think it's amazing how every time I pull out the camera, you manage to come over here and sit. So, please subscribe and share this video, our videos. Also, please click the like icon and the notification bell so you know the next time I put out a video. And thanks for watching. Take care of you and yours. And blessed be.